Hey Diego, howdy YouTube. It's day 148 non-stop barbecue days in a row, and we are cooking up that vegetarian spaghetti I was going to make for the farmer's market. So we're going to get to that. I'm going to process up some broccoli. We've got some squash, bell pepper, zucchini, and mushrooms. Half a cup of, what is this, chopped garlic, dried. We're going to boil our spaghetti. We've got a little bit of salt going on in there. We're going to toss a little bit of yummy chicken in to flavor up the pasta. Alright, we're going to use the char-broil to grill up our vegetables today. So we're going to want to get these all going on high. And we're going to cook our pasta over here on the side burner, so I'm going to want to get it going and get the pot on top of it. So I'll be right back with the pot of water and we'll get that boiling. Ooh, that looks good. Right high. Make sure your pot's centered over the flame so you get the most heat. Alright, and it's good to go. We're just going to let that heat boil and then we'll add our pasta. There's already got salt in it. Alright, our water is up to temperature, our grill is up to temperature, and it is clean. So we're going to turn it down to the grilling degree, right there, searing marker. We're going to put the half a cup of chopped garlic in, the water that's boiling. Already got our salt in there, and then we're going to add our pound of pasta. I don't know if this is a pound. It's 500 grams, so it's 17.6 ounces. 1.6 ounces more than a pound, which is 1/16. And we'll wait for that to come back up to a boil. And then we'll turn it back down and we'll steep it for 15 minutes. We will stir it occasionally. Now I'm going to get the veggies out here and get them on the grill. Alright, we're just going to get these veggies down. I coated one side of them with a bit of oil and some salt. I coated both sides of the pepper. You want to get them down and in the hot spot of the grill, because they're going to take longer to cook than everything else. I'm going to turn this burner down just below the grill level, not a lot, but the broccoli and mushrooms don't need to go quite as hot as the other side. Our water's back up to a slow boil. I'm going to stir it and then I'm going to turn it down. And over here, how are we doing here? We have grill marks. So we're at least halfway done. No way. Oh yeah, some nice burn going on those peppers. Alright, we're just going to let that cook a little more. Well, let's save the broccoli. Alright, how do you determine if you're... Oh, I just want to point out I shut the burners off as soon as I closed the grill. I thought about it for about a minute and I turned the burners off because the vegetables are pretty much done anyways and the residual heat will finish them off. And yeah, I think I was right in that call. So, is the pasta done? Here's how I tell. It's al dente. I don't like al dente myself. We're going to let it go for another 5 to 10 minutes. And we'll dice up those veggies. Alright, I took the mushrooms off because I don't want them to cook anymore. And one of them fell through. Bummer. So, And you just dice them up to whatever size you want your bell peppers to be in your spaghetti. Myself, I like them kind of big. I like all my food kind of big because I like to notice it when I'm chewing on it. If you dice these up, they'll just be a flavor ingredient, not a major component. And since I grilled them, I want them to be a major component. You could dice up half of them and chop half of them. You got enough veggies here. Nice. Oh, hey, that was a bell pepper roasted nonetheless. I got it. Looking forward to the next one of those again. And I don't know that I'm gonna actually chop up the squash. Some of the bigger pieces can be broken up in the spaghetti by the person eating it. And I know in a restaurant that's frowned upon, but at our house it's fun food. And a bunch of candy asses that can't cut our own food here. Now the broccoli, you want to make sure it's going to be a bite-sized piece. You don't want to leave a long chunk that somebody's going to have strailing out their mouth. So treat that with respect and care and love and giving and courage and focus, especially focus. Yeah, it's got some nice roasted bits on it. That is going to be good. Okay, my al dente spaghetti should now be not al dente. Maybe I'll cut up a couple of these bigger ones. This will be like 8. Sixteenths and 12ths and 9s and a third. Your texture comes from size. Alright, we got most of the water out of here and what's left is steaming, so we're going to add a can of diced tomatoes, a little bit of juice. I strained some off. Now we've got most of our vegetables. We've got our pasta and our can of tomatoes, and see how much liquid's in there? Way too much. We're just going to let this all simmer now for a little while. Alright, this has been steeping for about 4 minutes, and I've just decided to go ahead and add the rest of my vegetables. And if I need to, I'll add some tomato paste. Duh, that's what it's for. So let's get those diced up squash, broccoli, and peppers in there. We're going to want to stir those in. And then we're going to want to put the peppers on top, or the mushrooms on top. I must be so excited I finally get. Then at this point, you know, if you want to add your barbecue pulled pork or brisket or T-bone or hot dog or whatever you want to do, that's about the time you add the mushroom down. Put some of that homemade Classico tomato basil, 1 pound, 8 ounces or 24 ounces of wholesome goodness. Spaghetti sauce. Alright, let's dish some up. Some nice looking pasta, nice veggies. Right now, if you want to add some heat to it, you just put some crushed red pepper on it, and since Angie's not paying attention, I'm just going to put tons and tons on here. I got her to look. This is her dish. So what we are going to put on here, seriously folks, if you want to burn somebody's mouth off, go ahead and try that. But use some Parmesan cheese, and yeah, we're using that fancy stuff in the green plastic can. A little bit on the side for if she wants some extra. It's that simple, that good, that tasty. Now we'll have her come over and tell you what it tastes like. It's good! Alright, seriously though, I did taste it and it's pretty good. All I needed was that little bit of Parmesan. That balanced it out really well. Thank you all for watching, sharing, rating, commenting, subscribing, clicking on commercials, and doing all those good things you do to help me out.